Welcome back to 3 Talk. We've all heard it. A lot of us have said it. I just don't have enough money. But how does one get to financial stability? Our financial experts are here to tell us how to start living a debt-free life and get onto the debt-free movement. Sure. We live from hand to mouth. It's almost impossible. I know what you're going to say, Tracy. It's almost impossible to be debt-free. It really is.
Nolene, the most important time for any person is the day they start working. That very first day that you start working is the day where you can go and get credit cards and get credit. And that is the day that most people start off by making the biggest mistake. So if they can be really well educated before day one when they start working, not to go to Jet and here and somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else all at the same time and get 2,000, 5,000, 6,000 of credit and then max out all those cards and they're done. They won't be able to pay them off. Because you can't get credit until that day when you're starting to work. So that is your most important day. Experience some sort of control on that day. When you receive that very first paycheck, put 10% or 15% away immediately.
Get into the habit.
First paycheck, and you can spend the rest. You're not allowed to spend that 10 or 15%. And understand, don't go and get into debt, because then you have a noose around your neck where you will owe an amount of your money every single month to all these various institutions, and they will charge you interest.
Okay.
We become a debt slave, you know, slave. We can be slaves for the rest of our lives. However, adding on to what you just said, the reality is the mistakes have happened. We are in it now. Actually, we are nearly drowning in that debt. And some of the people don't even have money for bus fare. What now? Hence the debt-free movement. That debt-free movement is for people who are looking at their situation and are saying, I am so sick and tired of being sick and tired of being in debt. I do not enjoy my money. Actually,
You don't have money to enjoy.
I want my life back because I work for 30 days, but I see absolutely nothing at the end of the month. Something has got to give. And that movement is for those people who are saying enough is enough. It is a group of people who need to be committed though, because getting out of debt is going to require commitment and there will be pain. It is not an easy process. And I will lead that process. And it's an email movement. Anybody can actually join if they really want to get out of debt. It is going to take a long time. Of course it is going to take a long time. But do you really want to get out of debt? That's the question. If you are sick and tired of that slavery, you will get out of debt and you will do whatever it actually takes to get out of it. If you don't want happy poverty, enjoy your debt, do not complain. Okay? So those people who want to be with us can email me, winnie@winniekunene.co.za, and just say yes to the dream. And I will take it over from there.
Okay, I'm going to go to a tweet, and then I want to know the details of the debt movement and what you are actually proposing for people who want to be debt-free. I have a Cindy Swell who says, I'm a 24-year-old lady, job hunting, debt-free, no child, and I have a degree. Advice on the first things I must do with my first salary. You need to put away 30% of your salary, save it. 30%, well, no, 15, let's make it 15.
30 even better.
30 is better because you're just going into the job market and better still stay at home, stay with mommy and give mommy and daddy a few rand for rent and until you can afford your own place, and then save 30% of your first salary.
Yeah, because she must have a future goal, whether that goal might be an overseas trip or it might be buying a new house or getting a share portfolio together or a unit trust portfolio. Put away a substantial amount of your money into something where you can eventually get a fabulous goal, like buying your own property.
You said do not get into debt. Do not get into debt. But let's be realistic. If you need to buy a house, down the line, you need to buy a car. You're not going to buy those cash.
Clearly you can't buy them
But
cash.
if you do not have any record of debt anywhere, the banks are not going to give you any money.
That's...
It happens. Banks will not give you money.
Sure. No, you're right. So that is a sick system that we have.
It is so sick.
It is a sick system because they say, go and open up a clothing account because we want to see your payment pattern, how your behavior, how you pay. Are you a consistent payer? Because based on your consistency, they will then price the interest according to you, to how you actually pay. And if for 6 months they can predict that, okay, if we give her the money, highly likely is that we're going to get our money back, therefore let's give her that loan. But where we go wrong as a people is that I will go to clothing account 1, and at the end of the month I'll go to clothing account 2 and 3 and 4 and open brand new account, and then we open accounts every single shop. We own accounts, and that's where we sign a poverty contract.
Okay. So getting one account.
There's
so
nothing wrong in having one, as in one.
order to have a credit record.
Yes.
Or a savings account would assist you a little. But Winnie is correct there.
They
But in
want debt.
order to buy a house, you've got to pay for the transfer fees. You normally need to pay a deposit down. When you're buying a car, you need to give a deposit, usually. So you've got to accumulate enough money in order to be able to do that. So the minute you start working, open an investment account with a bank, with a unit trust house, and accumulate enough money in it in order to eventually then put down that deposit and buy a valuable asset like a house.
Let's go to Ntuseng in the Vaal. Hi, Ntuseng.
Hi, Nolene.
Hi, could you speak up a little bit?
Hi, Nolene.
Yes, that's much better. Thank you, Ntuseng.
Yes, you know what? I like the idea of the lady that said we should teach our children. My son, when he was 3, his father taught him to save money. And, you know, every time when my mother said, you know, your father should do this, he'll say, my father doesn't have money. When he started school, we opened an account for him. When his uncle gives him the money, he said, I'm going to save this money.
Wow.
That's good.
And then when he needed something, he'll say, at school they once said to us, we should bring some 5 cents to the school. He came to me complaining and saying, Mom, you know what? They said we must bring our 5 cents to school. I'm saving my money for myself. You know, I'm not going to take my 5 cents to school. And you go like, yesterday he went like, can you give me the lunch money? I gave him lunchbox and some money. And he said to me, can you give me some lunch money for today? And I said, no, what? He said, look, he brings a money box, and he said, I'm putting in my money box.
Yeah, you see, but he's very clever. He's keeping his money,
exactly.
and then he's still wanting more money from you. But yeah, no, he does not want to spend his money. But he's probably going to grow up to be a very financially savvy person. Thank you very much for your call. But then there's one thing to be financially savvy, and there's another to be stingy and not want to spend money at all.
He's just conscious. That's the consciousness you want. If you're conscious of how you use your 1 rand, you will always be conscious how to use your 10 rand, your 100 rand, and your 10,000 rand.
Okay, I get you. All right, let's come back to the debt movement. So you've started this debt movement. So someone
Just
emails you,
right now.
Winnie at winniekunene.co.za
and say yes to the dream.
Okay.
I will send them a letter and welcome them into the debt-free movement. And the idea is that we're just about starting. We want numbers. We want like thousands and thousands. I would like to have 1 million people.
Okay.
I know it's ambitious.
Nothing wrong with putting it out there?
I know it's doable.
Okay.
You know, because if you look at people who are in serious debt, there's about 9.5 million of those people who are about 3 months in arrears with their accounts.
Ooh.
Okay, so if I can just have 1 million of committed people, boy, I think we can really do a good job. So, but what it is, it's actually education and a motivational environment, which is email based, which will remind people at the end of the month, a week before the end of the month, don't forget to actually go and pay your debt, okay? And those who are earning money on the 15th of the month, they'll be reminded a week before that. Those before the end of the month will be reminded also a week before end of the month, and they will get a newsletter, and we will do a step-by-step process of how to get out of debt, because people go to courses and they learn and they listen to us talking here now, and they get home and they say, okay, so what do I do next?
Yeah.
So this is a step-by-step process via email and this newsletter, guiding people. I want to add other activities which I can't talk about that now. In fact, I get so excited when I talk about it. I don't want to spoil the fun. I don't want to spoil the fun.
Okay, all right, I get it. But it's a debt-free movement, and it's Winnie at winniekunene.co.za, and she wants to have 1 million people on a database trying to get rid of their, not trying,
You must do it.
doing it,
Yes,
getting rid of debt. More financial savvy tips when we return.
Yeah.